Thursday, noon Eastern time for the Best Ball Bash. Are you not familiar with the Bash? Every Thursday, we gather here. YouTube members, drop the hashtag, join the Bash in the chat. I spin a wheel, a randomized wheel. I know there's some conspiracies floating around out there, but I promise it is randomized. Whoever's name comes up, I send them the link to join me on stream. How risky is that? Just letting one of these chat rats on stream, but that's what we do. And it seems to work out for the most part. I'm Pete Overzet. This is the Bash. Let's do it. Welcome to the Best Ball Bash. We are throwing a party. One of you guys in the chat will be hopping on stream to draft, and then we will split the $2 million prize.
We are in the 2020 Honda Civic.
I think we got to lock him up.
You're going to be able to get us Jalen Knoll to fall by staring them down in the eye right now.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do, Pete.
Lock him up.
That's my kind of guy. I am going to need a howl from you.
Hopefully none of my neighbors mind.
Oh, this is going to be my life. This is so much fun.
All right. How are we doing, everybody, today? The hashtags are flowing. I got it set up here as well. Let me get it on screen. We will do an early bird gets the worm spin here right off the rip to reward those of you who found your way in on time. 8 of you so far. I'll spin this wheel in a minute or two once I get my bearings, get my overlays, all of that good stuff. Hopefully we are doing good on this Thursday. It has been a busy week, a fun week of content. I mean, Monday was absolutely jam-packed. Best Ball Breakfast, 4 hours. Then we rolled right into the live premiere of the Duo Challenge episode of So You Think You Can Tout with Silva and Levitan. We had the 24-hour vote. We had the exit interview show. Tuesday, we had a great Off and On the Clock covering weekly winners. I thought we had back-to-back really good shows on the Ship Chasing channel. ADP Chasing Tuesday night was awesome. Ship Chasing yesterday was great. So let's keep it rolling. It's a good week. It's a good week. Who do we got in the chat today? Trevor. Trevor says, refraining from joining the Bash. First of all, I'll cut you off there, Trevor. You are literally ineligible to come on the Bash. If you have been on the week before, that's the one rule. You can't come on back-to-back weeks. However, it's also kind of the kiss of death, right? Do you really want to come up on this stream if it just means you're going to get the axe the following week? It's debatable. It's debatable. Also, good reminder here, my guy JB Phil, he was in the Discord. He said, hey, can we do a little super flex today? And this is what my kind of thought is. I'll do dealer's choice for whatever the guest wants to draft. I don't want to thrust super flex on a guest who's not going to enjoy that. So within reason, you want to do weekly winners, you want to do eliminator, I'm down. Dealer's choice for the guest. All right, we got some Join the Bashes in here, seeing lots of familiar faces. Wow, even Marilyn. Nathaniel writes, mom in the chat. What is up, Marilyn? Putting that YouTube membership to good use. Oh boy. Oh boy. So You Think You Can Tout ethics committee became a YouTube member. What a bit this is. I love this. Monitoring the situation. Please, are you going to join the Bash? I would love to talk face-to-face to the ethics committee. I'm here. You can grill me. You can grill me on stream. Please drop the hashtag in the chat there. All right, let's do it. 12 entries. As I always say, we'll do a few of these drafts today. I'm good on time. We can do some drafts. So if you don't make this first draft, stay in the line. Your entry is still eligible. We'll spin again, when we're winding down the first draft. Good luck to all the bashers today. Blizzy Blaine. I love this. I love this. It's not going to help us beat the allegations that the wheel is rigged. At this point, it might just be a sample size issue. At this point, I'm starting to think the only people who want to be on this show are the same people who applied to So You Think You Can Tout. Now, does that make some logical sense? Absolutely. There's a Venn diagram of thinking you can tout and wanting to come on a stream and tout. But I'm also very excited to talk to Blizzy. Okay. It is what it is. Ethics committee, crutches, just zip it. Just zip it. I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking. Oh my God. All right, Blizzy, shoot me a text, buddy, or a DM, whatever. We are going to draft with Blizzy. I'll be curious to see what he wants to draft here today. I believe I saw Blizzy had Michael O'Hara on his channel last night. Haven't had a chance to watch that, but have loved to see that Blizzy is still pushing forward despite not making it past the tout twist challenge. Where is Blizzy? Blizzy, are you hitting me up on Twitter or Discord, sir? Let's see, while Blizzy makes contact with me, let's see what we got in the lobby as options. We have, obviously, Best Ball Mania. I assume we're going to stick to football here. We have Best Ball Mania. We have the Frenchie, but Superflex. So that's a Superflex option. We have the Field General. We have the Eliminator. We have weekly winners. We're not doing a big dog. All right. We're not doing a big dog. Everybody relax. I knew when I said that we were doing dealer's choice, some smart ass was going to be fine. I'll do a big dog. Pitbull, we could do SFB Satellite if some sick pup wants to come on here and do an SFB Satellite. And then there's the puppy. All right. We got Blizzy, the link. He will be joining shortly. We'll see what he wants to draft. And then in about 30 minutes or so, we will spin again to see who our next guest is. Tom, you forgot to enter? Oh, no. Oh, no. There it is. Now you're officially entered. The hashtag is good for the entire show. There he is. Blizzy, welcome to Bash, sir. This is your first time on the Bash, right?
This is my first time on the Bash.
Awesome, dude. Well, welcome. Obviously, people have gotten to know you a bit through the first few stages of So You Think You Can Tout, your own channel. You've done some very popular betting shows on the futures market for the show. But let people know kind of what you're all about if they haven't gotten a chance to check you out.
Well, thanks for actually mentioning the betting board. 4.0 coming out tonight with Rickadoozle. We've got him back out of the shadows. He's ready to release his latest odds, which, by the way, if people are watching, I just let Rick do his thing. I give him maybe like, hey, maybe think about this guy changing, slightly, tweak this, tweak that. But these are Rick's. These are not mine. So like I had Squares on earlier this week, and Squares said, look, you guys didn't have any faith in me. And I said, Squares, I'm the one who said all these people are writing you guys off, you and Farley. I said, I like to go against the grain. So I was in on them advancing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody at this point knows Rick is going to do his own thing. You can try to tell him what to do, but you can only hope to contain him. So you do a great job with that. Real quick, what do you want to draft today? I said kind of dealer's choice here. Do you have a contest that's catching your eye?
Let's do the Pitbull. Let's increase our chances of making a final.
I like it. Let's do a Pitbull. This is my first Pitbull. For people who aren't familiar with this one, $20 entry, 10 entry max, 100K to first. So still really nice top prize there. 28,000 total entrants, 2 of 12 advanced, just like the typical ones, but then 1 of 6 in week 15, 1 of 5 in week 16, and then a decently sized final relative to those early pod sizes of 156. But I like the structure of this one a good bit.
Yeah, me too. I think it's one that, obviously, if you get there and then you don't make a run in week 17, the $500 kind of sucks. But I feel like you have an elevated chance to get to week 17. And then, 6 figures up top is nothing to sneeze at.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Excited to get in my first side contest. I did a couple of dachshunds maybe on off and on the clock, but otherwise I've been exclusive Best Ball Mania. We need one more person here if you want to join us on this streamed draft here with Blizzy. And now, have I seen on your channel you really enjoy doing golf stuff as well, right?
Yeah, I'm really just a big, if I can get money involved in it and have fun and think about angles and game theory and stuff, I'm all aboard. But yeah, I've been in the golf streets since I launched my channel, which was around the time that I talked with you about Guillotine last year. That was when I launched, and then I was kind of waffling on what direction I wanted to take it. But once the 2026 PGA Tour season started, we got the 101.
We sure do, brother. Influencer 101 for Blizzy.
Look at that. But yeah, about the time that the 2026 calendar flipped, I just said, let's just do weekly previews of each course, each tournament, and just roll with it and see where it goes.
Beautiful. Love it. Let's talk it through here since we will be on the clock here in 15 seconds. Do you have a 101? Generally, people debating between Robinson and Gibbs here.
It's been Gibbs for me, but I like to go Bijan in a structure like this. I just think that if we're only going to have one bullet together, I like that dome environment. I don't like the kind of trends we've seen from Jared Goff over the years outdoors in cold weather when he starts throwing the gloves on. Totally believe that Week 17 game is going to be a high-scoring game. But I just like, am I going to trust Goff and Gibbs and those guys in a cold weather, windy Chicago game, or just the indoor environment with Bijan? So let's get different, because I have been attacking a lot of Gibbs so far.
Yeah, I like it. I did pull up just some of the totals here to kind of refresh my memory on it. Yeah, you mentioned at Chicago there. Nice total, but could certainly be a weather-impacted game. And then you flip it over to Atlanta, who gets back-to-back home games versus divisional rivals who generally don't have too good of defenses there with Tampa in New Orleans. So, yeah, when I wrote up kind of like my favorite schedules in the Fantasy Life newsletter a week or so ago, it was hard to balance these. Like, do you like the games with, say, 4 to 5 point higher totals like the, Chicago and Detroit game? Or do you lean into, hey, give me the dome, give me the bad defenses, even if there's not as many projected points to be scored?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think you play those two games out, a bunch of times. You sim them 10,000 times. Chicago, Detroit probably does end up having more just like nuke bomb fantasy games, especially because we don't even know who's quarterbacking for Bijan there in week 15, 16, and 17. But again, I've been going Gibbs a lot in the 101 spot, and you've talked about it countless times over the years, where it's like, if you do that, if that's your choice, you're going to pretty much be like 2-1, 3-1 on that other guy, because you're going to get him at the 101. And then when other people are taking Bijan at 101, you're getting so much Gibbs at 102. And so it's kind of one of those things that, we can debate until the cows come home, but you know how that goes. If you always take Gibbs at the 101, you're going to have a ton of Gibbs.
For sure. The people say that you looked like you were ready to hop on in stream at a moment's notice. You got your nice setup. Do you work from home?
That's not the case. I was in the recliner upstairs, did not have a hat on, did not have a hoodie on, was just kind of like pajama mode with the laptop up. And, the wheel started spinning, and I said, well, let's go downstairs to the man cave and fire the lights up.
There you go. I love it. You got to be ready at a moment's notice on the bash. We're here drafting with Blizzy. We got the 101. We are mixing it up today. It's going to be Dealer's Choice Edition. We're in the Pit Bull right now, a smaller 10 entry max contest. But if someone wants to come on and draft Eliminator, Superflex, I am game today. Let's talk it out here at the 2-3 turn, Blizzy.
I am probably Pickens here. Could certainly be talked into McBride.
Pickens and Hall go. Wow, Breece Hall at 23. So by ADP, you're looking at Love, Nico, McBride, Etienne, Olave.
Let's go Olave for the correlation.
All right, there we go. Let's get some week 17 off the rip here. Bijan and Olave, and now we got the second pick.
Do you want to get weird and go elite tight end with McBride also indoors?
Sure. Dude, I want the Blizzy experience, as I always say here. You want to do McBride?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm notoriously a late tight end guy. I have been very underweight elite tight end over the years. And it kind of just depends on, how that year goes. I mean, last year, if you had Kraft, you were feeling good until he got hurt. Last year, if you started in the summer and you had Bowers, you were feeling good until he got hurt and he didn't perform as well as he did his rookie season. So it's kind of one of those things. But I've notoriously been a late tight end guy. So it feels good to get a little bit different and have 3 indoor games in week 17.
There is a theme that tends to transpire on the bash where people come on and do things they don't typically do in their own drafts. There's the infamous draft with BBChosen where he basically diversified his entire portfolio on here. So where is this coming from, Blizzy? Why does everyone feel the need to come on here and do what they don't normally do when they draft with me?
That's a good question. I mean, if I was in the dark in my own room, I probably still would have grabbed Olave there for the correlation, but I probably realistically would have taken probably Devontae Smith or even fade the noise on Rashee Rice.
Oh, you still like Rashi at these prices?
I do. I'm just playing, and again, he could fall, and in a month from now, people could have way better prices and different combinations with him. But I just like to fade the noise.
Okay. Hey, are you applying that same thought process to Josh Jacobs?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I only hesitate, because I just don't quite like Josh Jacobs' playoff stretch as much as I like Rice's.
Okay. So it sounds like you're pretty, as I fix my camera here, it sounds like you're pretty in the weeds on the schedule and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes. You can line it all up and have the perfect game environments for week 17, and then randomly, you can have an Amari Cooper game in cold weather where he goes for 50 or whatever. But yeah, I like to try to think through the game environments that I'm highest on.
Yeah. What kind of volume do you see yourself getting down this year for best ball?
So I try to do a larger allocation than just best ball, but to give you the breakdown, generally I'll max the eliminator, and then I will max like all of like the contests that are single entry up to like 10 entry maxes. And then I'll max the DK Millie. And then my big thing that I like to do as well, that is not best ball related, but kind of budgetary related, is I usually throw like 4 to 6 entries in the Circa Survivor contest.
Nice. Do you get a proxy, or do you go down and register yourself?
Well, yeah, both. So I go down to register and to meet my proxy, and I've had the same proxy for like 5 or 6 years. And then, he takes care of it for the rest of the season.
That's awesome. All right, here's the deal. We're about to pick at the 4-5 turn. We've started Bijan and Olave and Trey McBride. We'll see what M-Dub does here. There's JMO who goes. So we're looking at Henderson, Demont, Waddle, Adams, Swift, Bucky, DJ Moore.
Let's go Adams in Montgomery.
Sweet. I like it. We'll go Montgomery first just to protect the integrity of the ADPs as they are. And then we will grab Devontae Adams here. I really like Montgomery still at this 4-5 turn. So that works out well. Get the 2 running backs, the 2 high-end wide receivers, Olave and Adams. We got Trey McBride holding it down at tight end.
Yeah, I mean, Adams, I know there's been a lot of question marks, and I was outrageously high on him last year. I think I ended up with like, I want to say 36%. Which was feeling good for a while. And then, he kind of quieted down the stretch.
Yeah. The any other kind of strategy tweaks that you like to make in these smaller field contests?
Well, just one, I don't know if it's a tweak, but just something I lean into even more in structures like this, but I'm doing it pretty much everywhere that I draft, is I just really like to rip into the same team correlation as much as I can. We don't have any teammates so far, but it's something that I talked through with at pretty good length with O'Hara last night on that stream, for those of you who caught it and those of you who are interested in catching it. I just think those same team correlations they're so good for just like the high level macro throughout the regular season, where if this offense performs, a lot of guys are going off. And then just the bounce, between the playoff weeks, where one guy can go off this week and get through another low owned teammate of his, and just kind of, just ping pong your way through the playoff weeks.
For sure. Yep. I think when in doubt, leaning into those big stacks makes a ton of sense here. So we'll see what we're able to do in this room. I'm curious, like, I don't want this to just become all so you think you can tell, but I'm more curious for you personally, kind of like what you took away from the show. One of the things I've been excited about are those of you who are like pressing forward and really using it as an opportunity, a little pep in your step. So we just talk a little bit about, how you've been approaching content since the show ended for you.
Yeah, I think one of the best things about the show is just the community of people reaching out. I was able to reach out to Rick and get this betting board show going, even when I was still in the contest, and we've continued that. Mitchell had me on the Tout House and Squares earlier this week. He wanted to, kind of go at the commish, Mitchell, and he reached out to me. So just, I think the camaraderie of a bunch of people that wouldn't really be in touch with each other without the platform that you've provided, just continuing to push forward and have some of that brotherhood and that continuity to really feel encouraged with each other to keep doing content like they have people who are in their corner.
For sure. Yeah, it's been fun to see all the cross collabs and giving us and the editing team so much to work with here, because we need it. You know, it can't be just us generating all of the content. We need you guys out there as well. So that has worked out well for sure. 6-7 turn on tap, 2 running backs, Bijan and David Montgomery, Olave and Devontae Adams, Trey McBride at tight end. This is definitely a choose your own adventure range of the draft. Probably not going tight end. Otherwise, what are you seeing?
Yeah, I don't love what I'm seeing. I'll tell you that much. This is a spot where when I can, I like to get one of the falling quarterbacks. Jaden's gone. Hurts just goes. We're on the clock. I'm not into Pierce. I think Pierce is going to fall when we get the news that he's not ready for training camp. Let's go. This is ugly. Let's go DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I'll put him in the queue. I'll save our time.
Let's think about what else we want to do.
Yeah, this is a really flat range at wide receiver. We are stacking late round quarterbacks. You could pair him up with Jalen Warren or grab a Ramondre or Pollard here, most likely.
I don't like Warren at this price, but I'm gonna just lean into the same team correlation and pick him up with his teammate Metcalf.
Yeah, I've been clicking Pollard in this range a lot, so I kind of like the idea of having an excuse to not get too overconfident on him being the much better bet there. I am pretty concerned that, you know, he shouldn't necessarily be ahead of Rico, and that we're just kind of in for a redux of what we always get with Jalen Warren and his backfield mate. But let's lean into the renaissance in Pittsburgh this year. Yeah,
I guess the bull case for Jalen Warren would be he's already a guy that we want to get touches in his hands easy. And then you pair him with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who likes to get the ball out, doesn't like to get hit. And then the removal of Kenneth Gainwell, who was kind of eating into that role that Warren previously had. And we saw Gainwell just be like a complete wonderful fit with Aaron Rodgers last year. And so maybe with him down in Tampa, we can get some of that that Gainwell success over to Jalen Warren this year. But I agree with you that Rickadoozle's certainly the lead back.
Yep. So we got our 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. If we're like plotting out quarterback stuff, you know, Olave, Stafford, Rodgers all certainly make sense. You can always do Stroud with Montgomery stuff. Have you been drafting a Arizona quarterback, or are you just staying away from that entirely?
It's a no-go for me, at least in these early portions of the summer. I mean, maybe you can convince me in August and September, and I don't even know about then, because whoever's named the starter almost certainly will not be starting in the playoff weeks, but definitely not even dabbling into those decisions here in early June.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning of just like, you know, we still have so much drafting to do, and it might not, you know, I guess it kind of goes against what you were saying of just like fading the noise, but I just kind of feel like avoiding unnecessary risks right now. Like, wait for more info on Jacobs, wait for more info on Rice. The band that their ADP is going to swing is not enough where you can't catch up if you feel behind. So I think that's where I've been leaning with a lot of these situations. And even with the late round running backs, I was, you know, thinking about a guy like Jonah Coleman today, who I haven't really taken at all, while still loading up on guys like Brian Robinson, who I feel better about their role, even though I'm typically inclined to be on the Coleman side of those things. But I'm just like, you know, if stuff breaks really well for Coleman in training camp preseason, like, I'll load up and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I have done in the past is just kind of like review the team. Shout out Michael Dubner for his sheet that I'm not using this year, but has basically carried me to this point, like the last 4 years or so. And one of the things that when I go back and review is like, obviously it's got the date and it's got the month breakdown, and, you know, he's got all the granular data in there. But when I go back and I look at like the first 25 to 30 teams that I draft each year, which are generally like the April, which for the real sickos, obviously like 4 days in April, and then the complete month of May, it looks so gross when you see how many people by the time the season runs around are just fully in the red because their ADP has dropped so significantly. And it's us projecting roles for people that don't have anything concrete set in stone until, training camp in preseason rotation. So one of the things that I've been better at certainly this year and then tried to implement last year was just don't guess. Don't guess in April. Don't guess in May. Don't guess in early June. Wait for those things. And like the perfect example for me was talking about it to O'Hara quickly before we're up on the clock again. It's just like a guy like Ty Johnson. He's probably been drafted in like sub 2% of drafts so far, but a guy that I've been kind of taking because I know he has a role and I know he's on a good offense.
For sure. All right, interesting spot here. You could if you want to secure a stack, you could do like a Purdy or Pearsall. Josh Downs also opens up another backdoor stack. You could go naked Jackson Dart.
Let's take Wilson first for the same team.
Okay.
Bet. And then what are we looking like? So Shuck is probably not going to be around when it comes back around, is he?
No, 116. There's certainly a chance. We pick at 120 and we have Olave, so it's possible.
So let's go Downs. I like your call on Downs, and I think he's a guy that's going to get a lot of volume with the absence of Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I like this move for us here. I guess the one thing, did we lose Stafford? Did I miss that? Yeah, Stafford went at pick 93 to the Puka drafter. Okay, they were playing a little defense there, knowing we might be in the market because he goes a full 11 picks ahead of ADP there.
Yeah, so I mean, Shuck is kind of priority number one if he falls back to us, and then potentially Daniel Jones, not at the next turn, but at the turn after that, and then maybe Rodgers late because again we already made the bet on Metcalf, and then we're talking about Warren absorbing some of that more pass catching role that Gainwell flourished in last year. Yeah,
it definitely. We might be staring down the barrel of a Brissett on a team like this, but I don't think it's as bad in the context of this contest, right? Where the most important thing really is getting out of round one because the 15, 16 pods are so small. So we could easily survive a 3 quarterback build late, but we might have to get creative. I mean, we have a team like Dirty Mark here in the middle of the board who took Daniels, comes back, gets Mahomes, and then says, you know what? I'm also taking Jackson Dart at 103.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about it earlier. One of the things that I am almost always doing when I have like the first or second pick and I'm coming back around, 72, 73 is trying to get those quarterbacks who I think are just totally mispriced, those guys who have the dual threat upside. Because you have the rise of all these pocket passers, which I think we're going to look back on. And I believe you guys mentioned this on Ship Chasing last night. I think we're going to look back and we're going to say, why did we push all these kind of middling QB 10 to 15 guys up? And then we've got like guys like Jaden Daniels who are just going like 12 picks ahead of those guys. And so I've really been trying to rip it in on taking Jaden Daniels, taking Jalen Hurts when I can at like the 70 to 75 range.
Yeah, man, this room, we might have made a tactical error not grabbing like a Jackson Dart there just to protect us a little bit because we see Shuck go at 107 to the Jordan Tyson drafter. Love comes off the board. And then you get, I guess Purdy was the faller there at 112. That was the other option I floated of like the Purdy Pearsall just to bake it in. But let's see. As far as outs late, we still have Jones, we have Brissett, we have Rodgers. So we're not like completely up a creek here. And we also have CJ Stroud with Montgomery if we want to kind of build out a late Texans thing. So I actually think we're okay despite some of those primary targets flying off the board here.
I would say that a guy that I don't care about being stacked and did Malik Willis just go?
No, he's here. You have Kyler Baker. Kyler just went. So Baker, Malik Willis, Cam Ward, Darnold, Stroud by ADP.
I would say I would probably just click Malik Willis because he's kind of stack irrelevant to me. He can win in a lot of ways where it doesn't involve bringing along a pass catcher.
Yeah.
And then we've already got 5 receivers. We're good at tight end. What do you like here as the secondary position? Do you like to go another running back here?
I think so. To me, this is the sweet spot here of like Aaron Jones, Rachaad White, Jordan Mason. I think that would be my lean.
If I was in a draft on my own, again, I would be clicking Rachaad White here alongside Malik Willis.
Let's do it. You know who else is into Rachaad White? I learned Jacob Sanderson to the tune of 42%.
We found that out on ADP chasing, and I think everybody was shocked, not just the guys on the stream, but the audience was certainly like, does this go against everything we've ever heard from Sanderson?
I love how you delivered that with the same VO like copy that you deliver the betting board odds. He's like, we found out that Tom has been editing PPR Tyler's videos. You're like, we found out that Jacob Sanderson has 42%.
It's shocking.
What?
I mean, what? Yeah, that doesn't mesh for me. I mean, this guy, I don't know if he was ever going to reveal that if he didn't have a, you know.
This is what I'll say. A lot of people go on these journeys, you know, to South America. You know, there's the ayahuasca ceremonies.
Yeah.
You know, he claims that he just, you know, hiked to the ruins there, Machu Picchu, but who knows what other substances he took along the way to kind of illuminate this position for him. We do have a few questions here from my guy, Go AZ Cards. He's always bringing out the flavor of our bash guests. He wants to know if you have a favorite beer.
Well, I'm not a beer guy. I don't drink beer. I am a cocktail guy, and if I'm drinking just casually, I mean, I know it sounds crazy maybe, but I just like to enjoy a Long Island if I'm out.
Okay. There you go. All right. There you go, Go AZ Cards. Hopefully you and Blizzy can still be friends despite him not wanting to throw him back with you. He also wants to know if you play golf, and if so, what is your handicap?
I play golf. But fun fact for somebody who is so in the weeds in golf betting and, you know, watching golf as a consumer, I played 2 career rounds, So very novice. One was 3 years ago, and I shot a 137. And then one was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
One was 2 weeks ago in Scottsdale, and we improved by like 4 strokes and shot a 133. So the golf game is not there.
So if you just play once every 3 years, you know, within like, I don't know, 25, 30 years, you will be a really respectable golfer at that trajectory.
I'll be really old. Old.
I don't know, man. Some of those old guys, you know, they don't try to kill the ball. They just hit it straight and narrow every time, and it works out. You just play bogey golf. You don't try to crush the ball like I do and then get into trouble.
Yeah. Are you... I mean, I know I hear Davis talk about his golf journey a lot, and he's always out there. Where are you at with the relationship with golf?
It's a sore subject for me because I really like golf. My buddy Matt in the chat here, Matthew, we've golfed once previously last summer. I've just been so busy with the kid, and the weekends are just like the one time to get in a lot of good family time. So saying to them like, hey, I'm going to go play golf for 4 hours has been just something I haven't done. But I think in another stage of my life, I would like to. With my job in high school, my summer job was caddying at the country club. So I got to play a bunch of free rounds. Even a few years back before we had April, I did a golf league here just to, you know, have an excuse to go out weekly. So I enjoy it a lot, but just not the time for it right now.
Yeah, this is me just praying that we're going to get like a quarterback here that is worth something to us. Is Daniel Jones still available?
He just went. I was just like tilting that because we have Cam Ward and Darnold sliding here. So we do have like, we can push it and see if we can get Rodgers, but with only one here, do you want to maybe attempt to build out a backdoor with a Ward or Darnold?
I was going to say at worst, if we have to go Ward, Helm, Ridley or something just totally gross like that, just for the, in my opinion, projectable 17 games from Cam Ward, I think that's what I've backed us into here.
Yeah, I think so as well. And then what do you like here with this next pick?
I'd probably just go Jawan Jennings personally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll grab him here. I think a cromulent wide receiver 6 for us. So let's do a couple of things here. I am going to recap this team, and then I'm going to spin the wheel to see who's going to hop on after Blizzy for another draft. But here's what we're working with. You know, things started off pretty steady. We found ourselves in some tight spots at quarterback, but we're battling back with Malik Willis and Cam Ward. We do have a solid running back room: Bijan, Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Rachaad White. The wide receivers: Olave, Adams, DK Metcalf, Wilson, Josh Downs, and Jawan Jennings. And then tight end Trey McBride holding it down there. I really think the structure and everything is fine. We've just missed out on the clean stacking targets.
Exactly. And it's gross that we're going to need like Rodgers to feel somewhat decent to close this out. I think we made the bet on McBride. We try to get Helm and we get out of there with 2 tight ends, and then we just, draft accordingly for the rest of the spots.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's spin the wheel here. We got PD getting a late entry in. All entries are valid. It looks like we have 18 here. It's Dan Mack sneaking one in as well. As I mentioned before, today's edition is dealer's choice, ... within reason. Whatever you would like to draft, I am game. Blizzy chose the Pit Bull. Enjoying that. Let's spin here. Good luck to all of the bashers. Yes, my name's on there from explaining in the... No, I refuse. I absolutely refuse. I'm just...
Seth.
There's a time in life where you just have to put your thumb on the scale. You have to break the rules. We're not doing BBChosen again. BBChosen, I'll send you your $4.99 back for your monthly membership fee. All right. Let's see here. Who's it going to be?
Stop it.
I am... The ethics committee... The ethics committee is just going... Oh, my God.
We are not beating any allegations. Although for me, this is my first time, and I've been trying for, over a year now. So
I know. I just put myself in a brutal spot because I can't put my thumb on the scale twice. I can only do it once. BBChosen, send me your Venmo. I will legitimately send you your membership fees back for this month. Rickadoozle, shoot me a DM and I will invite you back on to draft here. Let's get back. The ethics committee is going to be so pissed. And 100, I already said this, brother. We're not doing a big dog, but I might have to do a big dog just to win the audience back after what's happening here.
Pete, talk to me about how your editors are juggling or how they're getting their independent assignments. I am a video editor, but I know sometimes it's easier to work independently than it is collaboratively. How is that working with the show with having 3 editors?
Yeah, it is both. One thing that's super nice about it is like it's a necessity. We have so much footage going on and to sift through, and then you layer in the actual challenge itself, my voiceover, all of that copy. So we kind of have like I don't know, I'd call it almost like a conveyor belt operation. Lou does a lot with the initial ingestion, finding all the clips from the streams, etc. My guy Chris, who worked on the Deposit Kingdom videos, he does a really good first pass cutting, organizing all the footage. If we have multiple guests at once, layering those, making sure we can go full screen, side screen. He sequences everything, which is funny because that's his Discord tag is sequence. And then Zach is the one that comes in, puts the final touches on everything, all the After Effects, all of that stuff. I can get into it a little bit more here, but we're on the clock. Do you want to do Ridley, Gunnar, Helm, or should we lock up? No, Rodgers is gone. Shit.
No way. Is he really?
Yeah. I'm just going to put Ridley in the queue just because we have that. Do you want to just do the Ridley Helm thing for now? Or do you want to grab Bryce Young as the faller?
What pick number are we at?
We're at 169 and Bryce Young's here.
I would take Bryce and I would just say, forget stacking. We're just trying to piece our way out of this 2 of 12 round and just see what happens because we need projectable points. That room was not strong enough after we missed out on Rodgers.
Yes. Yeah, man, this draft is wild on the QB front. I feel like we're getting trolled. Rodgers went at pick 149. Is that unstacked? Why are we taking unstacked Rodgers?
That shocks me that he was gone. Yeah.
I completely missed that he went that early. So GG's to us.
I think this is the right contest to be in. If we're going to get boxed out like this, I mean, this would be a total mess if this was in Best Ball Mania. We're not winning a lottery style contest like BBM with a team like this. But I think this team still is strong enough or has at least enough projectable points at each position to where, we can win a 1 of 6 pod. We can win a 1 of 5 pod and just find ourselves in the 156 man final.
Yep. So here, let's do a little recap. we have kind of this hodgepodge quarterback room: Malik Willis, Cam Ward, Bryce Young, but we found our way to 3 quarterbacks who should theoretically all play 17 games, knock on wood. Bijan, Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Rashad White, probably in the market for one more running back. Olave, Adams, Metcalf, Wilson, Downs, Jawan Jennings, Ridley, in good shape there. McBride always gives us a lot of leeway at tight end. So I think with 3 picks left, we're looking good. Probably a running back, probably a wide receiver, and a tight end, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say you could make a case for 3 tight ends, but yeah, definitely one more running back and one more tight end at minimum.
Yeah. Best ball chosen. I don't really want the venue money. I want to come on maybe next week. Here's the thing. I might have to implement like a new rule. Like the spirit of the bash is to get a lot of new voices up on here and introduce people. So I had implemented the not back-to-back rule. I might have to do like 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, a month or whatever. Because the spirit of it is I want to make sure new people are getting a chance to come up here. I, of course, appreciate all the regulars. I love that you guys are here week in and week out, but I have to find a way to balance the objectives of the show in the execution of how that happens. So I apologize. I don't want you to feel rugged, but I realize you were rugged, but it is what it is.
It's just the way it goes sometimes. It's the same people and it's a numbers game.
Yeah. Neil says, not gonna lie, what you came in and thought that was it. No, the only thing I'd explicitly said was not back to back, but as you heard me just discuss, I'm going to amend that, and I'll think on it a little bit. But yes, let's for now say at least a 3-week break there.
Hey, what's the word on? Is there a ship chasing meetup this year? I heard maybe Texas or something. What's going on?
Yeah. It's we're doing it the exact same weekend we did last year. Last year was Florida. It's the last weekend in July into August. I think it's like 31st, 1st, and 2nd. We're going to be doing drafts all day Saturday. We're going to have some water activity on Sunday, either a boat, float the river kind of thing. And then we'll just have some meetups as well on Friday night, Saturday night for anyone who's in the area or interested. The drafts are for YouTube members there on the ship chasing, but we're going to have some public events as well that everybody can swing by. So it should be a good time.
That sounds awesome. That's a lot easier for a Coloradan to get to than Florida.
Yes. Tried to make it, middle of the country there, make it easy for everyone. Okay. Back on the clock. We are, Greg Dulcich is the top solver. Let's see
tight end. I would probably just continue to go on the Steelers bet and take Freiermuth probably.
Okay. What about Dulcich with Malik Willis?
Now you're making me think. Let's do it. And then let's wrap up with a running back.
Okay, let's go 3, because I think we can live with this wide receiver room. I think it's fine.
The receivers are the strong suit. We just need to tack on a running back in the 18th. I forgot that we had Malik because I'm so brained into believing that Malik Willis doesn't have teammates and he just gets there by himself every week. But no, I like that we piled into the same team Steelers correlation and then we stacked up Malik. I think that's a good, strong 3 tight end room.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like that too. Get kind of just how I've been playing Malik Willis. Obviously, you don't have to force it, but I just think Dulcich, especially when you need a tight end, is just such a really logical pairing with him. The opportunity cost is low. And like the drumbeat out of camp is that like he could lead them in targets. So I just think it's a safe way to get some correlation there.
Do we have any overlapping buys in running back of our 4?
Let's see. Good question. No, 11, 7, 8, 9. Also, thank you to the chat. I just had to confirm this because in my head, it was a couple weeks ago. He was on last week. I literally even said at the top of the show, you cannot put your name in the chat if you're on last week. Here am I feeling bad. No, you were literally ineligible per the letter of the law. Get out of here. And I'm not sending you shit. Glad we cleared that up. That said, I still am going to implement a 3-week one.
I like it.
Yeah, it literally Chosen just sent me his Venmo, and I'm going to reply, no, fuck off. You were on last week. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Trying to skirt the rules.
Yeah, geez. Okay, let's see here. 3, 4, 7, 3. So yeah, let's look at the running backs. Or do you feel comfortable potentially with 4, knowing that they're all kind of spread out?
I would add on to the room. I would say this is interesting because we have 4 that I believe are going to be on the field every single week. There's none that are like role dependent. I mean, David Montgomery, I like his situation because he plays with a team that has such a good defense, and they're going to be able to just run the ball and like keep CJ Stroud from imploding like he did against the Patriots. And then Jaylen Warren will certainly get his time. I think Rachaad White is honestly one of the best values on the board. I don't think that this Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt thing is happening, and I just believe that Rachaad White has wanted to be with his old teammate Jaden Daniels for a number of years. I even joked, this is funny, I joked to somebody like in January, I said, if I could get a Kalshi or a Polymarket to put what team will Rachaad White play for, and I could just hammer the Commanders before free agency even opens, I would do it because, like, I don't know, all these signs, I think he posted pictures maybe last summer with Jaden Daniels. He talks about him on Instagram, and I'm like, this guy wants to be in Washington so bad. And I just think that we're going to look back and we're going to say that he probably should have ended up going 30 picks higher.
All right. I like it. It's a strong take. And so with that said, who are you eyeing with this last pick here? We got the 3, 4, 7, 3.
Yeah, I said all that to say I don't think we need to get projectable volume because we have it with those four. I think we can take a swing. Is there a guy that you think stands out? I mean, I haven't taken any San Francisco backs all year, including McCaffrey. I know people are on Kalen Black.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking we should take an upside swing here.
My favorite upside swing, and this kind of dovetails with what we're talking about on ship chasing, I like Damon Claiborne if I'm going to do one of these guys back here. We passed on Aaron Jones. You like that pick?
I do. I've taken him a couple times. I think he's one where we can look back and it might be like the Pacheco thing where he doesn't have to be the greatest player in the world, but if Jones and Mason are just done, kind of like Clyde had nothing left. I think they had let go of Jerick McKinnon, or he was there, but they had really nobody who was like so cemented in that role that year in Kansas City that Pacheco kind of just like walked his way into having a role. And I think we could see that where I don't know how much Jones has left in the tank. We've seen injury history. Mason didn't look that great. If Damon Claiborne can kind of provide anything at all, any juice, any burst, I think he finds himself on the field.
Beautiful. Let's recap this team, and then we will get Rick up here. This is the Pitbull, just drafted with Blizzy, 3-5-7-3, Malik Willis, Cam Ward, Bryce Young, 5 running backs, Bijan, David Montgomery, Jaylen Warren, Rachaad White, and Damon Claiborne. The wide receivers, 7 of them, Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Michael Wilson, Josh Downs, Jawan Jennings, Calvin Ridley, and then 3 tight ends, Trey McBride, Pat Freiermuth, Greg Dulcich. We did a good job, like with some big team level correlations here. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with the running back room. Very impressed with the wide receiver room. Even the guys that we got late, like Jawan and Josh Downs. I mean, for those to be like your wide receiver 5 and 6, I think we are well ahead of the average wide receiver room. Obviously, any tight end room with Trey McBride is smooth sailing. And so I just think it's all about, can we get the right combinations throughout the season of those quarterbacks layering in good scores for us.
Yep. And I think the nice thing there with, it's like we didn't get the exact stuff that we wanted. It's funny. Someone made a joke too, like, being bummed you get sniped on Rodgers, in that, yes, he gave us correlation, but I prefer Bryce Young to Aaron Rodgers. And I know that takes a lot of bravery to give that take, but I kind of like how some of these shook out. We could get, a much more significant breakout from one of these 3 than one of the other pocket passers we were kind of chasing initially.
No, I think that's a good point. Rodgers, I mean, his ceiling is so limited and so capped. And then we don't know what to expect off Daniel Jones. We were both bummed to get sniped, but what does he look like the first year off the Achilles? It didn't look good for Rodgers his first year back. It didn't look good for Cousins. So I think you're right to say we have probably more upside, and the only drawback is just less stacking.
Yep, exactly. All right, Blizzy, it was great drafting with you. You mentioned if people are interested in betting board, let me actually I'll bring you guys on both together for a second, because it just so happens that you guys are doing a show tonight. Blizzy, yes. Tell me what we can look forward to from you and Rick.
Yeah, me and Rick here in a few hours. Well, I guess more than a few hours. It's not quite 11 here in Denver, but this afternoon we will record. I will try to get some clips to edit in and post. And we're going to have the latest unveiling of Rick's odds after this latest episode. This will be betting board 4.0. Rick, do you want to give the people a teaser? Do we have any difference at the top? We know last week or earlier this week, betting board 3.0, the favorite was Cups. Give us a teaser.
Well, I would say this favorite has swung from being the favorite to not the favorite, back to the favorite.
Oh, I know what that means.
This favorite actually has the most action on him currently. If you guys didn't take some guys like Nathaniel Wright, you're missing out on a lot of good CLV. Now that I'm out of the contest, all action is valid. You can suggest props. You can suggest lines. I'll even give you a boost if I'm feeling nice. DMs are open, guys. Have fun and bet responsibly.
The Rickadoozle
wow, I like
profit
that.
boost.
The profit boost. Can we string together an SGP over here as well on the Survivor Challenge?
Single, man. You can if you want to, though. They're all gonna.
Yeah, look forward to that. I'll hop out of here so you guys can get started. But look forward to that. It'll be on the Ballin' with Blizzy YouTube page later this evening.
Beautiful. All right, we'll catch you later, Blizzy. Good catching up, and keep grinding out there, man. Rick, welcome to the show. What do you want to draft here, real quick?
Honestly, it's completely up to you. Last I was on, we drafted a big board right before it closed back in April. Then I won 2 weeks in a row, and I graciously was like, yeah, I won't come on. And then BBChosen won those weeks, and now it's like, yeah, no more thinking tap contestants, please.
I'll float that. You can reject it if you want, but my guy JB Phil in the Best Ball channel this morning was asking about Superflex. Would you be down to give him a Superflex draft here?
I mean, I'll do what you guys want, but I don't have any Superflex knowledge. I could actually do it, though. I've been doing some of those.
You've been doing which ones?
The World Pup.
Oh, the World Pup. Yeah. Let's stick to football here. I want you to choose here. I want whoever does it to be more enthused.
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
It's a BBM if I get to choose.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. BBM here and JB Phil. I'm going to go do some mulching during Rickadoozle's draft. I'll try to stay tuned to audio. Catherine's B-Day yesterday. Tell Catherine I say happy birthday. JB, I'll try to get you a super flex draft here with our third guest, but appreciate you, dude. 7 more for this BBM. We are going to draft with Rickadoozle. Rick, I feel like in content years, you have lived a lifetime since the last time you were on the Bash.
Yeah. I think it's been a wild ride for me. It was like I described, it was a fever dream. It was a lot of fun. I was a little bit disappointed, and I'll put it mostly on myself. We did not read the room. We did not read the hints correctly. We could have gone with a much more ball-knowing draft, but I leaned into kind of Jerry's bit and his idea, and that was ultimately where we landed. So I'm happy I did it. I'm happy it was a lot of fun, and you taught me a lot, Pete. You gave us the opportunity, and I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah, and like, it's a tough spot in that, and people probably saw it on the exit interview show that we did with Mike Zakarian on that night, where it's like, no matter what, people were going home, 6 people were going home, and no matter what, those 6 people weren't going to be happy. And, so there's like this element of, if you were not upset about going home, or you're just like, whatever, then it means we failed as a show, because being on the show didn't mean anything or wasn't interesting. So the fact that you guys cared that much was a validation of like, okay, this is working. And on the flip side, like you naturally feel for you guys, seeing you and Chad and Trevor, everybody, Jerry, it's a tough spot. We can keep discussing here. Do you like Bijan, Chase, something else?
Yeah, let's go Bijan. I'm Gibbs.
We'll go Bijan. So, but yeah, so I just, I said some of it to you on that About the Tout show, but when I think back on the show, no matter what happens, like I will always remember the Rickadoozle arc, all of that stuff at the beginning. And I can't say that about a lot of contestants on the show. A lot of them will be lost to the sands of time. We will not forget Rickadoozle in the context of season 1.
Yeah, the big thing, I was taking a lot of your feedback and saying, okay, what can I do? Let me show my range, right? People see me as this antagonist. People see me as this guy that's trying to take down the toxic tower. Let me show my range by showing that I can be a nice guy, and like love is actually the reason why I came to fantasy football. Granted, timing didn't work out, but I'm glad I was able to show my range. OG Mans fan has been really effusive about that. And one thing I wanted to add about anybody who's going to get cut from the show or has got cut from the show, we're all sports fans, guys. one team wins it all every single year. OKC just got bounced. Really, really good perspective on one of Blizzy's latest walking tweets. Go check that out. And yeah, I was fuming. I wanted to come on and ask for a mulligan, and then Chad and Trev came on, and they were pretty into it. So I was like, let me adjust to a different lane.
No, I mean, the whole point of the after show, and I'm probably not even going to be on most of them going forward. I want you guys to be able to vent, let off. Stuff is always going to feel arbitrary when there's judging, right? That's just kind of like the way it goes. And everybody's always going to benchmark or look at another team and be like, hey, I think we were better than that. That's so natural. I thought the thing that was funny about Trevor and Chad is the things that they were upset about, or the teams they thought they did better than were completely different. The angles they were saying that they were like, they weren't even on the same page of saying how they got screwed, which was just cracking me up.
So I didn't believe we got screwed by the judges. Like if 5 independent people by our estimation all said we got a 3, we probably got a 3, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking is we read the tea leaves incorrectly. We went for more of Bits because we thought Bits got through. We were like, hey, our body of work speaks for itself. But like at the end of the day, you kind of posed it right. Like if you don't pass the challenge, why am I even bringing in these judges, right? If that doesn't count the most, what's the point? And so I was like, hey, give me a mulligan. I can definitely show I can know ball. But I guess here I am. I can't complain. I have more airtime.
Yeah, and like I mentioned it on that show too. Like I think variance is a good thing for the show. If I just wanted to pick who I think is the best tout, I would just like watch everybody get their stuff, kind of build my own big board and then pick that person. You know what I mean? Like for the show to be interesting, there has to be variance in the same way. I think I referenced like a poker tournament or whatever, that's what makes it exciting, is the fact that we could lose someone so strong. Like Cups was on the ropes. Like there was a chance that Cups could have gone home. That is what makes it interesting. If it's just the most obvious people advance every week, it's like, what's the fucking point of even doing this?
Yeah. And one thing I do want to ask you is, did you feel any way about pitting somebody in a live vote who didn't have a following versus somebody who did? Or was that going to happen whether it was Cups or, Zach and Brian or anybody else?
Let's make this pick and then we can talk about that. So we start with Bijan. So we're at the 2-3 turn. AJ Brown does come off the board. So you're looking at Love, Pickens, McBride, Brees, ETN.
Love, Pickens, McBride, Brees, ETN. IT, Jeremiah Love. I mean, what's the best available wide receivers? I would queue Love now.
Pickens, and I put Love in the queue, so we're gonna get him. And then you're looking at the next available for wide receivers: Pickens, Olave, Neighbors, Devontae Smith.
Yeah, we got cleaned out at wide receiver. Yeah, let's start with Jeremiah Love. I think that's the best pick, and we'll see what comes back around to us.
Yeah, we're back on the clock because the turn snap picked Olave and Luther Burden. Holy shit. George Pickens still here. Neighbors, Devontae Smith, Rashi.
Yeah, the first one.
All right, let's grab Pickens here. JB, thanks for clarifying. Mainly want to know if we could do super flex if you happen to get on. Absolutely, brother. Dealer's choice. If you get on, it's all you. I will say for people who are coming in and out, we will do another draft after this. I'll say we'll spin, in the next 20, 25 minutes as this draft goes on. So if you want to be eligible, join the bash in the chat, come back in 20, 25 minutes. Actually, scratch that. Just stay here and watch. Why am I encouraging people to leave and come back? My God, what a bad host there. Sorry, what was the other thing we were talking about there before that?
Would you have put 2 people to a live vote? Like, did you specifically choose Zach and Brian for the Prisoner's Dilemma? What would you ever consider switching those, or was it based purely on how they placed?
So it was basically we had the wiggle room of those 2 teams were in the bubble, and we always knew we wanted to do the Prisoner's Dilemma. And what we used to guide which one was going to go which was the confessionals and how the people felt about each other. So both Cups and Rambus mostly loved each other. I think it was I would bet a lot of money, and you as a betting man, you could tell me, I think they were both going to save each other and just go to a head-to-head vote anyway. So that Prisoner's Dilemma wouldn't have been compelling. We knew there was tension between Hartman and Zach, and that it was very likely one of them would betray, or they'd both betray and just, knock each other both out. And then both Cups and Rambus move on because those guys just knocked each other out. So we thought that was the best setup. But as far as the voting stuff, this is going way back to the beginning of the show, thinking through I want there to be a live fan vote component, but I don't want it to just be dominated by the people with the biggest followings. That's not really the spirit of it. I want the people who are watching the show and caring to be doing it. So as you've seen, what we've tried to do is mix up the voting mechanics every single time. You know, we had a pure fan vote. The second time we switched it to vote for who you didn't want, eliminate as opposed to who you did want, which I think is a little harder to rally a crew. Like you have to organize them and be like, vote against this person. I don't know. So that I think mixed it up. And then this one we left open for 24 hours, made people actually write a comment about why they cared. So, you know, Cups, did he get a bunch of his wife's friends to swing by and vote? Sure. But it was such a landslide that fortunately, I don't think we've ended up with a vote yet that was compromised in that way, is what I'd say.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was compromised. I just want to know your thinking. Kind of fast forward
Yeah.
to this week. Really quick, let's look at our build. I think we got 1 week 11 bye, 2 week 14 buys.
Yep.
Running back, wide receiver. We're seeing a lot of people that are digesting news, like Terry McLaurin keeps on getting good buzz from David Bling Blang Blau. Obviously, the guy that went A.J. Brown in the late second goes Devonta Smith. And anything else, Rasheed Rice goes mid-third. Trey McBride goes mid-third too. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh Jacobs obviously continues to slide here. Scatabo, Evans, J-Mo, Montgomery, Waddle, Adams, best available here. We are on deck at 411 with a Bijan Love Pickens start.
Yeah. I think, though I don't love Scatabo at this price.
He went. So
went.
Jacobs, Evans, J-Mo, Waddle, Adams, Swift, Bucky.
Evans, Waddle in that combination for me.
All right, let's do Evans first. We'll see what the turn does. They're the wild card who pulled Burden up from 41 to 25 at the 2-3 turn.
They're just expanding their mind.
My mind feels expanded for sure. All right, they do go J-Mo. Jacobs continues to slide. Is Waddle the pick for you if he's here?
Yeah, I'm a Broncos fan, so
let's do it. Jalen Waddle, come on down. So Bijan Love, Pickens, Evans, Waddle. Question from Go AZ Cards here. Rick, do you still want to go after touting, or are you content with guest appearances? First of all, I'll just say I don't think those things are mutually exclusive, but I'm curious your response there.
I'm going to let it happen a little bit more organically now. My life plans next year probably won't let me engage in the contest. But, you know, I'm still active on Twitter. I try to have like one nice post a day. I'll probably make some content. Still plan to do Land the Plane Fridays. Really, I'm looking for feedback, like comment, share, tell me what you don't like. Just make it constructive. Like, don't just call me a loser or like hate on me for no reason. Tell me what you actually think I can improve. Like one person I'll call out that doesn't, really hate me, Tom Straken. He's giving me a lot of good feedback. He's not the biggest fan of my character, but I've been actually internalizing that feedback and taking it. So I'll let it happen naturally and see what happens.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that too, because there's a constant feedback loop on the show, right? Like there's the actual feedback in the form of scores and the judges. There's fan feedback. There's feedback from like me when I editorialize, like in the copy of the episode of like, wish we would have seen this. And I think it's a really interesting like calibration exercise, and you learn a lot about the contestants who are willing to take that feedback versus those who are like, I'm just going to keep sticking this square peg in a round hole or whatever. And for some people that might work because it's just like, this is who I am. But I do think the hope is that people continue to get this feedback and improve and get better and kind of understand we're trying to push people to be the best possible versions of themselves. That's also something that's palatable and appetizing to an audience who already consumes this stuff.
Absolutely. And I think you guys are given the right nudge. You're doing it the right way. So one thing I did want to talk about was the bit part I made, the commercial. I think that was pretty well received.
Yes.
Bits are a part of my character. Like my girlfriend tells me all the time, like, you love the bits. Like I love the bits, like with people that I'm close to and whatnot. So bringing those bits down to the real world, that creativity, I think I'll continue to do that. You have to reprioritize your goals. And obviously, So You Can Think You Tell was one of my top goals during the summer. And now reprioritizing them, your actions stem from there, right? So my goals now are my job, my relationship, winning a lot of money in best ball, doing a bunch of drafts. I'm literally at the pizza shop in New York because I was going to enter a bunch of puppy twos, but then I got on the bash. So don't chase life. Let life come to you sometimes. You'll know when you have to chase life.
For sure. And I think that's, again, another tricky thing about the show, because there's multiple levels happening, is that at least with resonating with fans, like having a defined character archetype is helpful. They're like, oh, you're the analytics guy. Oh, you're the big streamer, bro. Oh, you're the bit bro, whatever it is. Nathaniel, you're the actor. That stuff is easy to get into viewers' heads. So they kind of have a quick shorthand for who you are. It can pigeonhole you. But then, I think you were in that crossroads of like pivoting from being an antagonist to starting to show your range. But again, the way the show's moving so quickly, you just never had the exact opportunity to do that. And I think ultimately it left you very polarizing to fans, which is good for reactions, but maybe not good for the longevity and the competition.
And Jerry was there too, right? He even said he wanted to show more of his background, and he kind of said that in the exit interview, so people would have empathy for him. Like when Emo showed his background, everybody was like, "Wow, okay, I didn't really like Emo, but now I understand him and I have empathy for him." Who are we looking at?
Yeah, so we are about to be on the clock. You got a couple of the quarterbacks here. Well, Drake May goes. Jalen Hurts is still here. You got Chuba Hubbard at running back. There's a flat tier at wide receiver. Lemon, Pierce, Sutton. What do you like?
Oh, I think Chuba Hubbard adds the most points to the team. Jalen Hurts, I think we have quarterback outs later. I'd probably go Chuba Hubbard here.
Yep, we timed out on Chuba, but I got him in the queue. So we have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. The turn goes Warren, and we'll see what they do there. Both Warrens, Jalen and Tyler Warren. So Hurts is still here if you want him, or another running back, wide receiver.
And I just want to talk about it with you really quickly. Do you think that Mekhi Lemon is closer to the ETR rank or the leg up rank?
I'm a little more down on him.
Okay, Hurts is fine.
And I guess, I haven't drafted a lot of him at these prices, and have kind of come around to playing the Eagles rookies through just Stour super cheap and late. But how have you been thinking about it?
Yeah, really my mindset shift this year is, it's not that I'm like fully buying into the Sims, but we're seeing a lot of things go in the same direction, right? More 12 personnel, more running back touches, the death of the wide receiver 2, all these weird tight ends were drafted. It's like at some point, it's like, okay, maybe we should be playing these contests from more of a points added perspective than an upside perspective, right? And these stacks are so common. You show up with a Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert, QJ stack, that's really easy to get. But how many people are going to have Trey Harris and maybe, I don't know, like a cheap David Njoku or with a cheap Arondé Gatson? So I think these popular stacks, you want to shift to the back stacks, because those, if you show up in week 17, obviously you want the big weapons, but at the same time, you need to be unique somehow. So yeah. The solution to that has been overstacking, or, kind of saying, I like Justin Herbert back stacks. I like a couple back stacks, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's another one too, where I think there's just, when I think about Tate and Tyson, and then if we're including Lemon in that big 3, like people were doing pre-draft, but then we get information with the draft capital, he falls a little farther than we think. And now he is, while there's opportunity via, I think, ambiguity, I do think there's a lot of different ways that offense can shake out. Whereas I think we kind of know what Tate and Tyson are sliding into. So I've just been like viewing those guys as like a very separate tier break here. That said, like, who are I don't know if there's a lot of other compelling options going around him, right? It's Alec Pierce, it's Sutton, and QJ. So I don't know if I can poke that many holes in it.
Yeah, and what I would say is, with these 12 personnels, the wide receiver 3 is basically completely falling off, and the wide receiver 2 will probably rotate a little bit more, get less targets, because the target competition is less, but you're competing against one guy that might be clearly better than you. So what we used to think of as the Bateman line, that might have even shrunk even further to become like, I don't know, the Jordan Tyson line, because at that Jordan Tyson, Parker Washington, DK Metcalf range, we have guys that like we think are talented, but we don't really know what their ceiling is or what their upside is. And then later you have one-offs like Josh Downs and Jaden Reed, where it's like, okay, if they play in 2 wide receiver sets, great. We think they're really efficient and can maintain that efficiency going forward. But it's almost like at that point you want to pivot to running back, because there's still running backs, like starting running backs, Ramondre Stevenson, Chuba Hubbard, Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard. There's just better choices there that are going to help you get to the dance.
All right, let's get ready for this pick at the 8-9 turn. We got Hurts. We have Bijan, Jeremiah Love, and Chuba at running back. We have Pickens, Evans, and Waddle at wide receiver here. Best available by ADP: Rico, Mahomes, Fannin, Josh Downs, Laporta, Purdy, Myers. Bo Nix could be available at next pick. What do you want to do here?
Why don't we cue Bo Nix?
Yep.
I guess just because if we time out, we go to him. I like Josh Downs.
Same bye week. You want to do Josh Downs and then talk it through?
Josh Downs, yeah, go Josh Downs.
Let's go Josh Downs. Yeah, Hurts, Bo Nix, both week 10. The bye week bros are going to come after us, so just want to think through how you want to play that.
Yep. Are we back on the clock? Let this guy pick twice first. I don't really want to give away any hints for somebody that's possibly watching.
Yeah, he goes Mahomes and Worthy. What would you like to do?
Brock Purdy.
All right, let's do Brock Purdy. We do have Evans, so that makes sense. Kind of an easy tiebreaker there to sidestep the bye.
And we have that weird both sides of the Week 17 Philly-San Francisco game.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right, quick thing here. So we have Hurts unstacked, which is completely fine. I guess in retrospect, would you, if you knew exactly how this draft went, would you flip Devontae Smith in Pickens, or do you still take Pickens there?
I mean, I don't love paying for Devontae Smith when Pickens is on the board and falling. So, like, I think I'm agnostic to who I take there. But in that situation where I don't know if I'm going to get Hurts, I think I probably lean Pickens like 55 to 60% of the time.
Yeah. No, I think you take Pickens there every time, but it's just a fun thought exercise of like, if you know for a fact that you're getting Hurts there, do you flip it?
Bag of Devonta Smith, and I'm not hedging here because I don't know a lot of Pickens. It's just like skate to where the puck is going to be. I think Devonta Smith is going to end up at that 2-3 turn, but I think he's going to be a fixture there. Whether he moves a couple spots, I think Pickens will continue to drop, but how far does he drop from here? Wide receivers are getting thin around that area.
All right, I will bite when Kiss My Third Leg says wide receiver 1 over wide receiver 2 always. Okay, let me try you. T. Higgins or Malik Washington? How far do you want to extend this thought experiment? I think I feel like we've just evolved beyond that. I mean, Pickens was an awesome example. Higgins has done it. Even Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle as second bananas. If the pie is big enough and the offensive output is large enough, these guys can smash wide receiver ones.
Playoff schedule as well for Dallas is prime.
All right. Let's see here. Also, I wanted to notice or shout out you put together an off-season drum beats thread. McLaurin, 49ers, Neighbors, Walker. Anything actionable here for these drafts you're looking at?
I mean, it's all actionable. I stand my guy, Jordan James. He's getting some really interesting coach speak. Essentially, Kalen Black has a lot to work on. Jordan James came in ready. McCaffrey workload, we're going to lessen it, but obviously that's hard because he's CMC. But McCaffrey kind of gets injured every other year. So I think Jordan James currently is in pole position for that, 49ers RB2 spot, and that's important.
All right. About to be on the clock at 1:19. Solver suggesting both are stacked tight ends here. Goddard and Kittle. KC Concepcion also available at running back. You're looking at Mr. Sanderson's apple of his eye, Rashad White, Jordan Mason.
Go.
What do you like?
KC Concepcion or Rashad White? Up to you.
Ooh, wow. You're going to put it up to me? Let's grab the running back first. Let's grab Rashad. I'm Jacob's gotten to me. Let's get some Rashad White. It's Rashad White day here. And then do you want to get Concepcion if we can, or grab one of the tight ends?
Concepcion or Goddard is fine. I think Goddard is going to be a value, but he tends to slip continuously for some reason. But it would be nice to get somebody to add to that Week 17 stack.
Yeah, I did Concepcion just because I was looking at Goddard's ADP, and we still have some room. And like you said, he'll slip. So let's give ourselves a chance to get both of them. Talk to me about, it sounds like you're out on Kittle.
At this price, yeah. I
really?
just think there's a lot better options appearing in this range. And for example, Jonathan Brooks was in this range for a while. So I think he falls. It's never priced in, right? So when we know he's going to go on PUP, or where there's like reports like, he might miss a couple weeks, where he's not in practice yet, closer to the season, he's going to continue to fall. He's a 30-year-old tight end coming off a torn Achilles after having hamstring issues his whole career.
Yep. All right, let's see here. We're going to have a few more picks, or we're in the 12th round here. I did promise a spin. Why don't I do a spin to make sure our final guest of the day is ready to go? Good luck to everyone up to 20 entries here on the Bash. Had a great time drafting with Blizzy, drafting with Rickadoozle right now. Good luck to everybody. Dealer's Choice Day on the Bash, Pitbull, BBM, what will be our third draft. Angry Dragon. Okay, there we go. There we go. This will be fun, assuming he can get away from his teaching responsibilities. Angry Dragon, shoot me a message on Twitter or Discord. We'll get you the link.
Angry Dragon, do the full stream from the hot tub or the bathroom, right? Nice.
There you go. Let's see. What were we talking about before? Oh, we were talking a little bit about Kittle. We have a 2-4-5 build here, in good shape at quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Have you found yourself doing any 4 tight end builds?
Unfortunately, yes. It's just like what the tools and the Sims recommend. I'm just like, all right, this is so gross, but Darnell Washington. And then boom, he gets a 42 million contract. So I was like, all right, maybe Shady's onto something.
I want to ask you about that, because you strike me as someone like who does a lot of research. You're really on top of your stuff. You have takes. How do you handle that with sim recommendation? Are you IK being it? Are you top guy clicking? Like, how are you playing that?
Well, first thing I'll say, I did 2,500 drafts last year with just the solver overlay and the spike week overlay. It took a lot out of me to think through all those picks. You need these tools if you're going to do massive volume. All right, we're coming up on the clock. Best available by wide receiver is
Omar Cooper, McMillan, Naylor, Tucker at wide receiver.
I like
you got Gadsden
for rookie upside, and then I think we tight end on the.
Sorry, you cut out Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper,
I'm good with it.
Let's look at tight ends. I think Gadsden's fine here. Who else do we have at tight end? I don't mind pulling somebody up either.
Yeah, tight end, Gadsden, Chig, Sadiq, Strange, Jawan, Hawkinson.
And do you want to go with a solver recommendation and go with Daniel Jones?
It actually flipped to Sadiq.
Oh,
you want to go Daniel Jones?
Yeah, go
Daniel Jones went. So quick. Gadsden?
Best available. Jalen McMillan. Oh, you got Gadsden.
Sorry. Yeah, it was shit was flying there. I completely where did Daniel Jones? Okay, Daniel Jones went right in between, so that's why I missed it there.
Gotcha. So we went Omar Cooper, Gadsden. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes. Okay.
So I didn't know if we got Omar Cooper or not, so I was like, all right, then if we didn't get Omar Cooper, we're gonna get Daniel Jones.
Yes. So we have
you have to solve for. Yeah, go ahead. You want to recap?
Oh no. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. So essentially, leg ups rankings, and you see Shady say this a lot, and I read a little bit about optimal transport theory. When you upload custom rankings to the Sims, it's going to do the best job of then taking that and saying, all right, based on your rankings, what are your range of outcomes? Like, what do we think is going to happen to this player? What are your weekly projections, etc.? But you're trying to infer everything from a single output. That's really hard to do. So essentially, if you're using the Sims with leg up ranks, if you're using solver custom ranks, you got to think, where do I disagree most with what they're ranked? And then based on that, pivot to the same position where you think that person is better. Or in the case of the last rounds, like I just IKB onto Jordan James a lot because I'm like, this is hyper fragile, but like, let's just add an upside rookie bet or a second year bet because we love that second year running back class.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and like you said, if your goal is to get down the volume that you got down last year, and your singular goal is to be profitable, then like you have to find a way to outsource some of that decision making. If your goal is to do 200 drafts this summer, and you just love getting your takes out, getting your guys, etc., then there's probably a different path. So I think it really just comes down to what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, and I do a ton of slows, right? So I come on the clock and I have like 50 to 100 picks to make. Some of them are World Cup, some of them are weekly winners, some of them, whatever. Like they're just different formats. It's really hard to switch your brain to those formats and then switch back between picks. And things that I don't have a ton of edge in, like Field General and like Superflex, it helps me kind of learn the format, learn what works.
Yeah.
And I did some last year. So I would recommend the tools. Just be price sensitive. And that.
It's reminiscent of Nathaniel's audition tape where we heard the police in the background there. But yes, it's a good point to shout out here. The solver, which I'm using, you guys can always get 20% off with promo code Pete. We got the overlays in here. You can see my exposures, and my favorite part being able to quickly access my combo exposures here. For some reason, I have 33.3% Trey Tucker on Bijan Robinson team. So you always learn something. Is that a tornado
No,
siren?
It's a fire station. I'm at my pizza shop that I go to, and they're just running the siren because I think they're coming out.
Hey, real quick, Trey Tucker, TJ Hawkinson, Schultz is here. What do you want to do?
Schultz or Hawk.
All right, let's grab Hawk first. Just play the ADP there, and we can talk through what we want to do with this next pick. We got a 2-4-6-2.
Yeah, I mean, if we get Schultz, I'm okay just finishing tight end here. Leg up loves Schultz, like loves him.
Yeah. Hurts and Purdy, we miss out on Goddard, who doesn't come back, but I guess we shouldn't have been shocked by that on that last round.
No. We got a wide receiver we can take still going in the last round to help us with that.
All right, let's grab Schultz. No bye week overlap here. Gives us our third tight end. So we got Hurts and Purdy at quarterback. We got the 4 running backs, Bijan, Love, Chuba, and Rashad White. The wide receivers are solid. Pickens, Evans, Waddle, Downs, 2 rookies, Casey Concepcion and Omar Cooper. And now 3 tight ends here, Gadsden, Hawkinson, and Schultz. What do you think we're going to be doing here for these last 3?
So for these last 3, I have a wide receiver in mind for one of those picks that would put us up to 7 wide receivers, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Do you want to go 8 wide receivers since we started with George Pickens?
Yeah. Sorry, Rick, your audio's cutting out a little bit for me.
I'm sorry. Is that better now?
Yes.
Do you want to do 2 wide receivers in these last 3 picks since we started with Pickens? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think like traditionally I'd probably just fall into a 5th running back, 7th wide receiver, but also wouldn't be opposed to 2 wide receivers if you just think there's nothing at running back you like.
Because we have like a pretty good running back room, no overlapping buys if I'm reading that correctly. We got Chaperones and Chuba and Rashad and then Jeremiah Love. So we're either swinging at running back, which is probably going to be a 0 most of the time, or we're trying to get wide receivers because wide receivers are weak position. I mean, I'm sure if you go over a draft capital on the solver, you can see that. What
about your boy Jordan James on a Brock Purdy team?
Every time I'm on stream with you, I'm just like, nah, wait, Jordan James because I need help elsewhere. I like Trey Harris, Dontavian Wicks with this next pick, but I think we could push Dontavian Wicks. You know what? I'm not going to do it twice. We're going Jordan James and Trey Harris if he gets here.
Okay. I love it. One other guy that I just think is interesting. Have you been clicking any late Marshawn Lloyd?
No, but I know a lot of people wish he had. That's one I got to see before I believe it. Like they could bring in a number of running backs. If Josh Jacobs' situation deteriorates, they're not giving the keys to the car to Marshawn Lloyd. It's the same thing every year. Oh, he looks great, and boom, hammy.
Yeah, I mean they're if something happens to Jacobs, they are an absolute lock to bring someone in. The question is just like, do they spend for someone like via trade that's actually legitimate, or is it just off the free agent trash heap?
5th, 6th round pick for James Conner. Cardinals are connecting picks. Tony Pollard.
Conner would be a great fit there.
Tony Pollard, maybe they let him go because they got Singleton. Singleton develops. We could definitely see some running back movement.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting it, but I just think he's a thinner bet because, okay, say Jacobs is suspended. Do we really think Marshawn Lloyd gets 20 touches? 16 touches. I see Keaton Mitchell kind of bet.
Yeah.
But he's a contingent Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, I think he can shoulder a little bit more of the load than Keaton Mitchell, but I understand your point. Do you want to go running back or Wicks here first? Trey Harris went.
Let's go Jordan James.
I love it. Double down. Did we do Jordan James last time you were on?
No, you made fun of me for not sticking to my gut and going with him. So.
Okay, there we go. Then we got him this time. Makes sense on a Brock Purdy team. Take a stab there for our 5th running back. And then
the thing you want to think is like if CMC goes down, what do you think is going to happen? Brock Purdy's going to pass more, right? Pass rate's going to go up to, well, maybe not because CMC catches passes, but to Mike Evans. And then Jordan James is probably going to play more of the Jordan Mason type role that year that it happened.
You good with Wicks here as our final pick?
It's second to last pick.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I was like, our team's so good that I was like, I don't know what else we need here. We're good. Wicks, lock it up.
And we're sitting at a 2.573 right now.
Yep. We got Hurts and Purdy, Bijan, Jeremiah Love, Chuba, Rashad White, Jordan James, Pickens, Evans, Waddle, Downs, Casey Concepcion, Omar Cooper, Dontavian Wicks, tight end, Oronde Gadsden, TJ Hawkinson, and Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, you should show Patty Carrain this team. I think he'd like it, but
yeah,
he'd be like, Jonathan Brooks. And I was like, buddy, that's your fault. Jonathan Brooks isn't on this team.
There you go. There you go.
I'm going to the Azores in 2 weeks, basically.
Oh, you are?
Europe. And so I was thinking, like, if I was on the contest, man, I got to make content from the Azores. But then if this Survivor week was like a little bit later, I could get like legit Survivor looking content in the Azores.
That's hilarious. My wife and I went to the Azores like 15 years ago. Are you guys island hopping or staying on the main one?
Ponte Delgado to Pico to one more island that she liked for the wineries, I think. And then back to Ponte Delgado for our flight back to JFK.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, it's are you renting a car or how are you getting around when you're on?
We're going to rent a car on Ponte Delgado. On the other island, we're not sure. I think they do have Uber and rideshare, so we might do that.
Yeah. It's such a small place, and yet it's still kind of like the different corners of it are kind of spread out as far as getting to the pretty spots. But yeah, man, I love that trip. The seafood, the wine was all so good there.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention kind of on a post I made yesterday on X is like, if you're doing slow drafts this summer, if you want to get, volume up through the low stakes kind of ways, the $3, $1 drafts, you got to plan it out. So I'm going on a 1 week vacation to the Azores, right? So if I want to do puppy twos, I got to do them now and hope that they, finish in 2 weeks, right? I got to stop. Even if other drafts come up, I can't ape into slows because I'm not sure if I can make picks from the Azores. So on top of that, you got to make some picks in the morning. You got to make some picks at lunch. I bring my laptop to work and go into the lobby to make some picks just to get them off the clock during my lunch break. And then you're going to have to make picks in the evening and afternoon. So you got to be pretty structured about your life. And I think the easiest thing to do is cut out the drinking for a little bit.
Yes, you have to choose. Do you cut out the drinking or do you cut out the slow drafts? those are the options. All right, final pick, Mr. Irrelevant for this squad. You got something up your sleeve here?
We put up Penix in the hopper, and who do we have left?
Penix, Cooper Kupp, Booty, Black. You could double up on Niners running backs. Marshawn Lloyd is here, but you sounded skeptical. Wide receivers. You got some rookies. Surratt, Brazel.
Let's go Marshawn Lloyd. You seem to want him. Let's go take him. It'll make you happy, Pete.
I love the implication that one, that I'm kind of not in a good mood, and two, the one thing that'll lift my spirits is Marshawn Lloyd on this team. Thanks, man. I was having a real shit day, but once I get this dude Marshawn Lloyd on, it just really turns things around. All I could say is my energy was pretty low, and now I'm feeling pretty pop, Rick.
Pete, this was fun. In the interest of getting new blood on the show, one thing I say is when there's 20 people in the hopper, the odds are pretty high if, 4 or 5 of them are so you think can tout. So one, maybe get new people, or two, I think a 3-week cool-off period is perfectly fine. I hope we do get new blood here, because the only reason I was okay with coming on today was because you did blackball me twice already. So
you're right. Yeah, was one of them legitimate, and then one was I BBChosen you?
One was back-to-back, and one was BBChosen.
Yes. Okay.
Video, but anyway, let me not take up time for the next guest. I had a great time, Pete. I'll see you soon.
All right, peace, Rickadoozle. Welcoming to the stage, Mr. Angry Dragon. You are live on Best Ball Bash. Before we even do all the intros, all the table setting, what do you want to draft today?
I'm cool with Best Ball Mania.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I don't want to spend all your money, Pete, but I'll do it.
Well, I think Best Ball Mania, of the options in the lobby that I would actually agree to, because I'm not doing a $500 draft with you as much as I like you, Angry Dragon, I think it is the highest dollar one in the lobby right now. So you're milking me for all I'm worth.
I'll take that.
Let the people, some people who are deep into the world of So You Think You Can Tout, or who watch the Best Ball Breakfast, vote against BBChosen, are familiar with you. But tell us your name, who you are, how you want to be identified in this space.
My name is Zebulon Stone Cottrell, but you guys can call me Zeb or Angry Dragon. Angry Dragon seems to be, what people want to call me, but Zeb is also a cool name.
That is. And what's your background, within the fantasy space? Because you've done some stuff before, even the making yourself heard in the tout world.
Well, my previous name was like Super Ninja Cow Go Moo, and I was just kind of trolling you guys. I've only been on here like briefly, right? I wasn't really deep in the weeds. I'm more of a redraft guy. I was the fantasy footballers. I still listen to them. But I didn't really start getting into, Underdog until they were talking about the rankings on their podcast. I was like, what is this? And then I found out you could just draft whenever the heck you want. I was like, I love this. And then I got addicted. And then here I am, I end up here with you.
I'm very curious as well. Where are you broadcasting from right now?
So I was literally on my mower, right? And then I'm getting notifications like, hey, good job, way to go. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, Mitch was like, whoa. I was like, what did I miss? Because I couldn't hear you. And they're like, you're on the bash. I was like, oh, I gotta get off. I gotta go.
Dude, what? You were on a riding lawnmower? What is this? You just how rich, man? You got a big ass yard that demands a riding lawnmower?
I work at Girl Scout camp.
Okay.
As my part-time job.
Is that like for summer stuff, and then in year you're teaching? Yeah. All right, we'll get to know more about you here in a second. We're going to pick at 110 in this Best Ball Mania draft. Do you have anything you like back into the board here?
Really, I'm cool with anyone, but I've been taking a lot of Ashton Genty here at the end. I think he's going to go crazy this year, but I'm also cool with CD, Justin. But I think let's go Genty if we can. Unless someone falls.
And because they seem to both love him, you have to attribute the Genty pick to either Cups or Rambus. Which one of them influenced you more into wanting to select Genty here?
Rambus.
Rambus. Okay, there you go. There you go. Speaking of which, by the way, guys, he is going to do an exit interview with Mike tonight. We spun up that new YouTube channel about the touts, so it's going to host the after shows and stuff. So if you want to watch Rambus tonight with Mike, please tune into that. I'm sure, as all things with Rambus, it will be very entertaining. So check that out. Angry Dragon, we start with Genty here. We're about to pick at 2-3 We do have a wall of green here in the queue. Drake London, Brock Bowers, the next non-running backs. Who do you like?
Let's go crazy and take Brock Bowers.
Okay. All right. So we've talked about this move a little bit. We saw, I think we were doing the eliminator drafts on Tuesday, and Shady Advice, Mr. Gigabrain himself, did the Genty Bowers combo there. So you want to pull them up, do the teammates?
Yeah, let's do it. I haven't done it yet. I think sounds fun.
Beautiful. Genty and Bowers. And yet, what were you going to say?
It's probably not the best duo to have here. We're wasting a lot of wide receivers, but you got to get unique sometimes.
All right. I like it. I think that's been, I would say you've occupied an interesting lane within the whole, meta content sphere of the show. You wanted to get on. We did have a vote. The fans decided that BBChosen would have been a better applicant than you, because they wanted to really hold you to the letter of the law of a late submission. But now I think you've pivoted a little bit. Like, you're kind of in the mix. You're doing some shows with Mitchell, some commentary, and you've also kind of been a critic of a lot of the touts, you wanting to hold them to a higher standard. I appreciate that. Sometimes it strikes me as a little funny for you to be giving them the feedback of like, do this thing that I'm not necessarily doing. But talk to me about this lane you are in and how you arrived there.
Listen, I was so disappointed in myself that I kind of didn't grasp what was happening with this. And then I, of course, submitted late. I thought maybe I still had a chance because it seemed like you kind of enjoyed it. Mayo enjoyed it. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. But man, I was getting bashed hard on that live vote for being late. I was like, oh shoot, I'm not in this. But I wasn't going to start making content unless I got on, the show, because I got 2 jobs, man. I ain't got time for this. But here I am. I'm having fun. That's why I'm still doing it. Now I'm not putting as much work as, heck, Cups is, you know what I mean? Or Mitch. But like, yeah. I'm just want to bounce around and have fun and join these guys. I don't necessarily want to do this all the time unless like I wanted to get a job with you, so I didn't have to, do all the hard work.
Yes, and while the winner is going to get a paid gig with me, I assure you it is not enough to leave your job and even probably stop mowing lawns as well. Yeah. But I do appreciate the pursuit for sure. Let's get on the same page here for this pick. At 310, we start double Raiders here. Genty and Bowers, Neighbors and Rashi Rice falling as they do. Josh Allen here, Javonte, Ted Arroyo, Garrett Wilson.
Let's go Ted or Wilson. I like Neighbors and them falling, but I want someone that's guaranteed going to play for me.
Yep.
Because I have, the 2 Raiders. So let's get Ted.
Ted Arroyo, come on down. We add him to the squad. Neighbors does go right after. So you said you fell in love with best ball once you found it. What kind of contest do you normally draft? It's really just,
I was a big redraft guy. Still am. I'm in like 6 leagues or something.
Yeah.
That's where I make my money too. Is I roast all my friends and coworkers at school. That's how I get the money.
Yeah.
But on Underdog, I'm just doing the cheap stuff because I ain't got that much money to dish out. I joined some Best Ball Manias and the Millie Maker on DraftKings, but other than that, I'm going to puppies, the single entries, stuff like that.
Rice, Neighbors, Javonte, Allen go after we take Ted Arroyo, Garrett Wilson, Igbuka, Jacobs, Burden, Scatabo. What do you want?
Wilson or Igbuka? Give me Wilson.
All right, we'll do Wilson. We can keep my 0% Igbuka streak alive for now. Genty, Ted Arroyo, Garrett Wilson, Brock Bowers. But no, expand on, I guess, your critiques of all of, I don't know, the contestants. Just, you've kind of had a general vibe of like, I want more from you, more specifically like personality, charisma is something you've been driving at.
Well, I mean, I get on this contest. It's a reality show, and there's so many just dry people. I mean, I love data. I love all that. But like, I'm here to watch and have fun. And I care less about the actual data than I do, like, are you entertaining me? Do I want to sit on my mower and listen to you? And these guys aren't bringing that to me. And I'm just also projecting what I would be doing on the show. I want to have fun and, show myself like that. But I get that we're all different.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, right? Because you are having to kind of toe two lines, and we've seen people, get too close to one of those polls, and then people don't like it. Like a lot of the comments that I was kind of sifting through from the episode that weren't just voting for Cups or Rambus was like, man, I wish I could just see these guys be themselves. Like all of these bits, where it's like, if it's not super funny, then I actually don't feel like I actually learned a lot about you. And so that's one side of it too. And then there's the other side of a lot of criticisms early on in the show. We're also like, man, when are you guys going to talk ball? I have no clue if they know fantasy football. I have no clue if I would tap in. People write to me on Twitter and it's like, there's only 3 of these guys that I would watch if they were on your stream or whatever. So it is a balancing act, and it speaks to kind of the even push pull that Levitan and Silva were getting at of people want different things from fantasy content. And it's interesting to watch how the challenges and the judges, respond to what the contestants do.
Yeah, it's about the audience. I mean, everyone's different. I mean, you have some people cheering for someone on Survivor and then others hating them. I mean, it's just how it is with everything.
Yeah. This is one of I commented or responded to somebody on Twitter. Go Easy Card says only a few touters that what you will get if they win. And I just wanted to make it very clear that this isn't just a sub role for one of my co-hosts. Those are my co-hosts for a reason. Like whoever I pick, it's because I'm energized about a new thing we can do or a new avenue of content that I haven't explored that plays to their skill set. So definitely want to make that clear. Bucky here in the late 5th, Judkins, Rome, Price, Tootin, BTJ.
Let's do another receiver. Let's do Rome.
All right, we'll grab Rome here. Not catching the falling Bucky knife.
Nah.
Okay.
I want him in like the 6th.
Okay, well, we might get him in the 6th. No, he goes right away at 5'11" here. So we have Genty, we have Ted Arroyo, we have Garrett Wilson, we have Rome, we have Brock Bowers at tight end. A few running backs at the top of the queue here between Judkins, Price, and Tootin.
Let's I'm really in on Tootin this year.
He goes. Yeah, they're getting wiped out. Every running back just went bam, 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 bam. Who do you want?
Top receiver. Who we got?
Brian Thomas?
Yeah, BTJ.
All right. So we got an anchor running back build going here. Would you play that turn differently in hindsight and take one of the running backs first? Or are you comfortable with this?
Yeah, I hate when the running backs just start flying because I do not like the running backs on the far end of the board at all. I'm very safe with running backs, and it kind of scares me. But you got to get unique. We took Brock Bowers. It's going to happen.
Yes. This is a good question from Go Easy Card. So he's saying like, hey, if you want to be entertained, who then do you want to win? Or do you think that there's not a strong enough candidate in the mix?
I will say you definitely have a good group that will entertain me. I, of course, am a little biased towards Mitch, but he's creating content that I enjoy. Emo, he's a little wild for some people, but him and Nathaniel really got me going on their submission too. Some of the others, I like Cups, but I think he would be great at doing this. But once again, I want to be more entertained and less data driven. But that's my opinion,
Yeah, that's why I think this week set up so well with the two tribes, because even within the tribes, there's some pretty big disparity in like how they approach their content as well. Because like you said, like Mitch and, Neil being in the schemers, like, yeah, they both kind of work behind the scenes, produce their content, and yet couldn't be more stylistically different. And I think you could say the same for a couple of the streamers as well. So I'm excited to see how they all mix this week.
And I'm really disappointed because this morning I was like, man, I should grab my Magikarp hat. Like
someone was asking where it was. I'm
going to have an opportunity today, and, work, takes over. I left at 5 a.m. and here I am without my hat.
It's a damn shame. We're about to be on the clock. This draft is flying. If you want a running back, Ramondre has slipped picks past ADP.
Even, take him.
All right, let's do it.
He's still back. I love Henderson, but he's going to get a lot of work.
Did you see the clip of the softball thing where Ramondre almost got taken out by McBride?
Oh yeah, guys sliding. Yeah, I did.
There's another alternate reality where Ramondre Stevenson is no longer getting drafted because he tore his ACL playing softball.
What other? I cannot see the board on my phone. It's driving me nuts.
No. I'll help you out as much as possible. We have a 2-4-1 build, no quarterbacks yet. Genty, Ramondre. We have Tedoroy, Garrett Wilson, Roman, BTJ. We have Brock Bowers. We're looking at, I'd say, 2 options. You could go with another wide receiver, Sutton, Jaden Reed. Trevor Lawrence is also here if you wanted to stack him up with Brian Thomas Jr.
I like the stack. Let's do Trevor before quarterbacks start flying off too.
Oh God, dude, we're getting sniped today. Trevor Lawrence goes to the Tootin drafter who has 2 wide receivers here. Sutton, Rico, naked quarterback. Reed went.
Oh, frick. Sutton, get him up there.
All right. We'll grab Sutton here. He slides 7 picks past ADP. So you at least you want to do a value hound? Ramondre and Sutton, both 7 picks past ADP.
Yeah, I like scooping values.
No, but I'm asking for a literal hound from you.
Oh, like
a howl. Sorry.
Oh,
there it is.
My coworkers are so confused at what I'm doing. At least I'm not in my classroom.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, I think that was the interesting thing and there's been some people who have come and gone on the show where some of them really are in this for the long haul now with content, or we'll see the long haul, but they seem to have the momentum and want to keep making content. But then I do think there's some people like you, not saying that you're not making content, but just where of like, I think what was most interesting to me was making content on the show, being in the world of the show. And I don't know if I actually have the drive to do it outside of it. I think that's cool, but I think ultimately the winner of this contest is going to have the drive to do it no matter what.
Yeah. My thing is like, I have so much free time that I'm using on this. You know, I want to spend with my son. I got to work. So it's like, am I going to really put all the hours into this and be successful and do it right? Probably not. Like, that's why.
Yes. But I think what kind of content would you like to make? Obviously, you would want to entertain, but you also know it's sometimes hard to find an audience if you are just complete whimsical entertainment and not talking ball.
I think I'm probably better as a guest, you know, just randomly popping in with my fish hat and causing some kind of scene. I've thought about, you know, Eric Andre, his show, doing some kind of pre-recorded. It'd be hard over, you know, the internet to do it, but get these guys from the tout contest, just do some random crap, show them pictures, see how they react, and just let it go. But we'll see if I get to that.
All right. I like it. I do think just even like such a good way to just work the muscles. I think what Rambus is going to kind of start doing too, where it's like, take the pressure off yourself of, you know, even carving out all this time, whatever, just fire off the hand in camera, TikToks and shorts, get comfortable. Brock Purdy, J.K. Dobbins, Michael Pittman here, Kyler, Matthew Golden, Jordan Love, Jonathan Brooks.
Let's grab Brooks since we got a tech.
Ooh, I think. Oh, wow! I snuck that in under the wire. We got it, but yeah, good call there. Get 2 Carolina guys. We don't have any quarterbacks, so this is kind of an interesting spot to make sure we don't get fully shut out. Someone did take Bo Nix. I think what you could do is take a Brock Purdy or a Kyler if you wanted to.
I'm cool with Kyler by himself, even if we don't get a back stat, because he's going to run. He's going to do better this year. He's going to wait.
Let's do it. We get him at 111. I think that is good just to protect ourselves. Mendoza would make sense for this team. Bryce Young would make sense for this team. Maybe like a Geno. So yeah, we got some options now.
There's some late round QBs, so we're hopefully okay by the time we get there.
So what are some of your, as someone who I think has been, from what I can tell, watching the show pretty closely, what are some of your predictions for the home stretch here as we're down to the final 10?
Man, I'm waiting for the twist on this next one because I know you're doing something unique. And I was
Why would you think that?
I mean, you got to make it bigger each time. That's the point, right? You can't just, PTR Tyler gave up his buddy. Now we're just going to let these guys slide. No, it's going to be fun. I was messing with Blue Dog the other day. I was like, maybe they're going to have each other like edit each other's videos and then try to make them sound worse or something like that. That'd be awesome.
God, that would be just asking for self-sabotage for sure.
You guys put in so much time already.
What have you made of editing gate that's dominated conversation the past couple of days?
I will say, if the challenge is for them to sit there and stream without editing, right? We got the schemers and streakers, right? So is it really cool for them to send out to someone else to let them edit it? I don't know. I mean, I get that's what you do outside of the contest, right? But if the contest is challenging your abilities and stuff you don't usually do, then maybe you should be the one editing it.
Yeah, I've obviously, first of all, and I've said this before, I thought this through a lot before announcing this challenge, and ultimately did not say anything explicit about editing, because I think the way it's constructed and what's required from both of them, I truly think it's fair. And I think there are pros and cons to both challenges they have. And ultimately, I didn't think the editing was a factor. In the same way, if the team schemers wants to hire a producer to live produce their show, I wasn't going to, eliminate them for that either. So right. The editing has been a fun talking point, but I don't think it is actually going to come into play with how this transpires. Real quick, Bill, Jaden Higgins, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Kincaid, Stephon Diggs, Jalen Coker.
Higgins.
Let's do Higgins here. Jaden Higgins, come on down. All right, so we're cruising at wide receiver. We got the 6 wide receivers here. One thing to look at is this Bryce Young ADP. Do you trust him coming back? Do you want to get insurance via another quarterback?
Let's
before
see
then?
What running backs we got?
Bill is here. He could be a solid 4th running back. There's also Keaton Mitchell, Woody Marks.
Let's go with Bill if we can. If not,
yeah, dude, you're gonna have to do another howl. Bill falls all the way here to 134 with an ADP of 120.
Baby.
Pretty good. All right, so here's the squad. Let's recap. So we got the 1-4-6-1. So we're good at wide receiver. We're good at running back. We got Brock holding it down at tight end. I think it'll just be making sure we can round out this quarterback room. But Kyler, Genty, Ramondre Brooks, Bill, Tedoroy, Garrett Wilson, Rome, Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Jaden Higgins, Brock Bowers. How do you think we're doing here?
I like it so far. It's not too terrible. And it's not the usual guys that take either, so it's different for me.
Who's like your most drafted? Who's your guy?
Well, who I've been focused on the most? I've been scooping up running backs a lot. I really love David Montgomery, where he's going. Heck, I've even been taking like Pacheco. I think he's got touchdowns. I mean, and he's so late. I know there's some guys I'm missing. Oh, Chig. The Washington just stack. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Chig, I think's going to kill it this year for sure.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, I've been Jaden's just way too cheap. I love kind of the ambiguity with the running back room. And like you said, the rookie there, Antonio Williams and Chig are so cheap late. They're a pretty fun backstack.
I think people forgot how good Jaden was, and Terry, that was his year that he went off. I don't know why we've changed on that.
Yeah. Yep. Are you where do you fall on the spectrum? You said you got into this from redraft, like as a best ball bro. Are you in the weeds with the week 17 correlation and all of this stuff? Or are you more kind of vibes based here?
I do that stuff, but I'm also vibe because I'll have the picture up on my phone of like the week 17 stacks, and then I'll just get distracted by something. I'm taking somebody else. It's not crazy to me. I just want to advance. That's kind of where I'm at. I've only made it to like round 16, so I'm just trying to get to round 17 at this point.
I got you. Bryce Young is here, though. We probably need this man for this squad. You good with him?
Yep. And then if we can get those later on, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, so I think we probably have to take him at 159. His ADP is 168, and then after this pick, we don't pick until 176. So I guess it could go either way.
I think we take him because someone will scoop him up.
That's my thought as well. I think our team looks so much better, unless you don't mind like Geno as the backstop with Garrett Wilson.
Get Mendoza. Gino's okay for this, but I'm still
All right.
scared.
I like getting Mendoza on this, right? Like if you're doing the Genty Bowers thing, like we need this guy to be at least slightly above average.
I'm not letting the Jalen Naylor guy get him like that. No.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, Pete, question for you, for me, do you think I could have made it far into this contest had I not actually been a late submit?
So yeah, it's interesting because I don't know, like from a charisma and like on camera, like comfortable, like you're an easy hang. Like, you know, there's some people who like really have to build that up and like they're stiff and all that. So that part I don't think would be an issue. I'm curious how you would have handled like the tout twist, because I don't think you would have been flustered, but I'm just curious, like, would you have had enough talking points to kind of win over, you know, the judges with how you presented those arguments and stuff. So yeah, my questions would have just been like, when we get to these football portions, would the audience have been like, I like this guy, but I still have no clue if I would watch him talk fantasy football?
I think because I don't have like severe takes on people, I might actually have been able to do that pretty easily. But then again, like, I don't know, I can get distracted with this stuff. So maybe I would have been like, oh, frick. But I would have also expected a twist, I think. I don't know. I think some of these guys getting flustered kind of confused me. But I don't know. You know, I wasn't in it. So
it is, yeah, I think it's a lot. Everything is a lot easier or people think it's a lot easier than it is. And it's not just the twist itself. I think it's just the idea of like, I know this is my one crack to do it. It's almost like the pressure of the situation, not even the thing. It's like, I can go shoot free throws, right? But if you tell me I'm in or out of a show that I care about if I make the free throw or not, it's like the difference between batting practice, you know, to continue stressing sports analogies. But yeah, I think that's what ultimately made it hard for people, is just the pressure.
And some of them just scripted too much too. Like, I think they were too developed into what they were already going to talk about, and maybe it confused them. But
yeah. Okay, let's make this pick at 15-10. We got a 3-4-6-1, good at quarterback now. Can always wait on tight end, but we're also in that range where we could grab a second with Bowers. Probably looking at running backs, wide receivers, or tight ends here. Yeah.
What running back tight ends do we have?
Running backs, you got Nicholas Singleton, Emmett Johnson. Tight ends, AJ Barner, Helm, Cade Otton.
Running backs.
Singleton, quick.
Yeah, Singleton.
Okay. I'm just going by ADP. I mean, we're kind of in choose your own adventure land down here.
Singleton is like, well, Pollard kind of sucks. And Tajay Spears never seems to actually get the chance. And when he does, he stinks. So maybe he'll actually get to play.
Yeah. And Rick had, you know, floated the idea, you know, who knows? What if they trade Pollard? You know, they kind of usher in their youth movement here with Spears and Singleton. That could certainly be interesting. Let's see.
Let's grab a tight end maybe, or a receiver.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Barner, Helm, Otton. I'm trying to see if there's any like correlation stuff. Barner's opposite Carolina in week 17. If you wanted something opposite that stack.
Try Barner. We need probably one stack at least.
Yeah. I think that works out well. And again, a guy 9 picks past ADP. It's not like the biggest deal in the world at this stage of the draft, but you continue to stack values here.
That would have been cool with Gunnar Helm there too. I'm kind of up on Tennessee this year.
For sure. I just like any of those, or sorry, did you say you're in or out on Tennessee?
I'm in on Tennessee.
Yeah. I just like the price, right? I mean, it's so cheap to build that out. And it's also crazy. Like nobody's drafting. Is anyone drafting Shamiri DK? Like their second year wide receivers? No one's touching those guys.
Like, Ayum Manor and DK, like they got points. I mean, I know we got Calvin Ridley sitting around, which is also kind of weird that he's in like the 180s, but
yeah, DK's a little interesting to me just in that like he really popped in a few of those situations. They were finding ways to get him the ball, you know, on special teams. And it's like, if there's one guy there that even with Tate and Ridley and Wandell, I think could still, I mean, basically do what Nick Westbrook-Akine did for them a few years ago, which is just like hit on a lot of long touchdowns.
And when I'm looking at players like this during redraft, like I'm looking at the guys that are scoring points in those weeks. I don't care what they did in the first half of the year. Who's going off like in week 14? Can I pick them up out of my waiver and like maybe I'll get good points from them? that's where I'm at with these guys. Like maybe they'll do better than next year.
Yep. So we have here 2 more picks. Thank you to everybody who tuned in for the bash today. Everybody who entered every Thursday, noon Eastern. If you're a YouTube member, you just toss that hashtag join the bash in the chat. The ethics committee will continue to oversee what's going on here with this randomizer wheel. And in addition, I will go in the lab and formalize basically a cooling off period for once you're on. Up until now, it had been at least 1 week. I'll probably for sure move it to 2, if not 3 weeks. And I just could not be more pissed at Chosen for trying to gaslight me into thinking I was being a dick to him when he literally broke the rules, Angry Dragon.
I was there when it first started, and I did see BB put in his hashtag, I think, before you joined, but I think he maybe did play it up a little bit there.
What a little chode. All right. Do you want to, we're on the clock here. You want to look at some other wide receivers?
Yeah, let's get
here.
Do we have like any at all? Like,
you want to do Brazzle with Bryce Young? Get a rookie? Yeah.
For Ravens, yeah.
Let's do it. So now we have the triple stack with Bryce Young. We got the Brooks. And let's see here. As far as any other correlation, I mean, we don't have really anything with Minnesota.
Hawk's probably already gone, right?
Yeah. You could do Claiborne, like if you want to do the quarterback, rookie, running back thing. But this team, it's close, man. I think you could go any position other than quarterback here if you have a lean.
Let's grab another receiver.
Okay. Yeah, we're looking at Ayuk, Cooper Kupp, Booty, Tyreek Hill, Troy Franklin, Torrey Horton, Pat Bryant. Who?
Troy Franklin.
Troy? Okay. I have not clicked Troy Franklin this year. Talk to me about your love of Troy Franklin.
He was going off last year. I get we got Waddle and Sutton. Sutton's getting old, though. I don't think Bo Nix is going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to stop throwing it to this guy now. Like, Waddle's going to get his, but I think Franklin's going to be sneaky. He's going to get points. He shouldn't be all the way here at the end.
All right. You know, I mean, my concern is that, you know, they bring in Waddle. Franklin was the guy for them basically the first half of the season while they were redshirting Pat Bryant.
Right.
And then Pat Bryant comes on and Franklin kind of gets pushed out. And then when Pat Bryant gets hurt in that playoff game, it was the Marvin Mims show out there too. So you have Waddle, you have Sutton, you presumably have Pat Bryant in 3 wide receiver sets. Mims is the gadget guy. I'm just like, where does that leave Franklin?
Right.
I'll tell you where it leaves him, Angry Dragon, on our team in the 18th round.
We're winning it, baby. I can already tell.
I like it. No, this is why I love the bash. You know, people talk about, you know, people diversifying their stances on here. Have you been selecting Troy Franklin, or is this a wild card selection for you?
It's very rare. I hate that I cannot see the players. It's making me mad. Like, I want to be able to like scroll down. I don't want you to have to read every name.
Well, let me read it once more, and then you can react to it. Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, Fernando Mendoza, Genty, Ramondre, Jonathan Brooks, Bill, Nicholas Singleton, Ted Arroyo, Garrett Wilson, Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Jaden Higgins, Chris Brazzle, Troy Franklin, Brock Bowers, and AJ Barner at tight end.
I like this team, really. Like,
you picked all the players.
AJ Barner might be the one I like the least.
that was just for the week 17 correlation.
Yeah, I could care less if he's on my team or not. He's just there for the best ball bros.
Wait, are you a Denver guy?
Oh no, I'm a Bengals fan. I'm not over here in Ohio. I'm a pro baby.
Gotcha. Does that mean, are you on Team O'Hara? Isn't he Ohio?
Oh yeah, I was going to meet up with O'Hara that like first week, but he had something going on when I was up in Columbus. Unfortunate.
Okay, there you go. Well, Angry Dragon, it was a pleasure drafting with you. Nice to get to hang out in a longer form setting. Any other final takes on the show, people you want to call out? I mean, it is social media chirp week, as Easy mentioned in the Discord. So what do you got?
Okay, let's see. I'll call out Tony Squares. Come on, man. Let's do something. Bring it on. I'm tired of you, all this talk. I've been waiting for Survivor to be over. I'm still not seeing anything. I'm seeing in Discord, big deal. I can do that, buddy. Let's see some action. PPR Tyler, dude, you got mogged on by Mitch about basketball. Mitch is ripped, man. Did you see him?
Dude, that Mitchell, dude, I don't know about for you, but I had multiple like recalibrations of who I thought Mitch was. Because first of all, I didn't realize he was that tall. I thought he was much shorter based on just his on-camera presence. And that's just like optics of like where your camera is, whatever. Then I see his handle and I'm like, oh, this guy's smooth. Like he's fluid. Like he's a hooper, dude. Like he looked like he could have dropped, 20 in high school. And then I see his shot and I'm like, it's the most Sean Marion-esque ugly jumper I've ever seen. And then I was like, all right, we're back. It's just Mitchell. It's just Mitchell.
This is great. Thanks for having me on here, Pete. Truly, I've been trying hard to annoy you to get on here, but here I am, right?
No, I appreciate it. I mean, you are kind of in between of, helping me and not helping me beat the allegations that it's rigged for so you think you can tout applicants. But if everyone is going to hold you to the letter of the law of not being one because you late applied, then they also have to apply that same logic to your appearance here. And you're actually fresh meat.
I don't want to hear nothing about no rules during this contest. I tell you what, because you guys did not let me slide with that late crap. So I better not hear nothing during this.
There you go. There on screen, Mitchell's handle followed by one of the ugliest jump shots you'll ever see. Appreciate all you guys. The schedule for me, no more shows today. I'm recording with Fantasy Life. That videos that I do with Amanda and Kendall drops on Friday, so you can keep an eye out for that. I'm going to do After Dark on Saturday. It is with Dave. He has been on the channel previously, really sharp best ball player, DFS guy. He works on the ETR social media team and just got back from the ETR retreat. I believe he's been keeping up with the show as well, so we'll get some takes from him. I was actually hoping Dave would apply to the show back when, and he's doing a bunch of traveling this summer, so he didn't. So it'll be fun to catch up with Dave. You can look forward to that on a Saturday edition of After Dark. Then we'll be back on Monday. But the other thing that I really want everybody to keep an eye out for, these two tribes, their video submissions are going to drop Sunday morning on the channel. To make everything fair, they will be posted at the exact same time. They're there for everybody to review. We will then have the judges, the algorithm, the fans weighing in, impacting what's going to happen. But all you guys need to know is come Sunday at some point, please drop by, watch those videos, leave comments, let us know who did better. It'll be really fun to see that play out.
Pete, I'll be here to vote off anyone you need. So you just give me a call.
There you go. I appreciate you. Thanks, guys. And for all of the people who are just here for the bash and the bash only, I'll see you next Thursday at noon Eastern. Peace.